Mr. Brooks has been treating the studio audience to a little musicale during the break.
I was marvelous, I thought.
You were, yes. You were. So much of you is wasted by just simply directing movies and things.
Yes, and I am a very good dancer, very good ballroom, very good ballroom
You did a
dancer.
very good Bogart, which is very
Right,
tough.
your Bogart is good, your
Tough, yeah.
ballroom, everything that starts with B, you do well.
Yes, yes. They're way ahead.
Okay. Frank Capra won an Oscar in... He didn't win an Oscar in 1934. Didn't it happen one night when
Five.
yeah, at least I was going to say five Oscars for the five top Oscars, I suppose, that year for maybe the most successful comedy ever put on film. Both stars in the film won Oscars, and you wouldn't have any trouble identifying them, I don't think, in the scene in which they have to pretend to be man and wife. Want to take a look at that? Here's one of the giants, Mr. Frank Capra. Does that bring back any particular memories, or does it all blur?
Well, no, that's a wonderful scene, I think, between those two people. They were just made for that particular part, those particular parts. And Clark Gable, that's the real Clark Gable. Very few people have ever seen him, but that's the way he really was in life, you see.
As he was in that film, or as he was just in that scene?
As he was in that, well, this light comic.
Yeah.
And that's the way he was, and that's the way he was not in many other pictures. And it's too bad. The real Clark Gable, I think, is just...
Did he worry about things like that, like whether a film was right for him or not?
No,
he should do it or
no,
not?
he didn't. He actually thought every day was his last. You know, he said, this can't go on. You know, this has got to end. This happy Cinderella story. He didn't think he was a very good actor.
I have a feeling he's one of those men who always thought it was a kind of odd profession for a man to be in.
Well, he was a stage actor, but he didn't think he was very good ever, and he certainly didn't think he was a star. It was going to end.
Yeah.
It became one of our greatest.
Yeah. And is it true that Claudette Colbert was not supposed to originally play that part? Is it?
No, we had 4 or 5 girls turn the part down. That's quite a long story about everybody turning it down. Bring the part down. And we only got her because she was on vacation. And we offered her twice as much money for 4 weeks. And we finished her with her in 4 weeks. And she didn't, after the show was over, she thought it was one of the worst pictures she ever made. So it was all...
Never trust actors.
The whole story of this picture is really
opinions.
Fantastic.
Can I just ask you one little silly, trivial question before we take a break here? How did you make it look so convincingly cold in Lost Horizon? I know people who saw that movie watched it with their coats on in some cases.
Well, being realistic was a fetish for me. I tried to photograph things as they really were. And one of the things that I was always trying to do was show people's breaths showing when it was really cold.
That's what was always missing in cold scenes.
Yeah, and I tried it once with an actor before, and I almost killed the poor fellow. I found out that I tried it with dry ice. I put dry ice in little cages, and I put the little cages in the actor's mouth. And it worked all right, but they couldn't talk with it, you see. So this Hobart Boswell, with a picture called Dirigible, I put it into his mouth. We were supposed to be on the South Sea Islands, South Pole.
South Pole.
South Pole. And he was supposed to plant the flag on the South Pole in the name of the United States. Well, he put this thing in his mouth, and this great big bird cage, and he couldn't talk with it. And he said, in the name of you, finally he got so desperate, he took the thing out, and he says, I can't talk with this thing. You want cold, I'll give you cold. And he took the pill and put it in his mouth, dry ice, and he began to talk, and suddenly he was on the ground, groveling in absolute pain. And we rushed him to a hospital, and he lost his whole three teeth and part of his upper jaw. Yeah. Just frozen.
From putting actual dry ice in his mouth?
Yes. So this is what happened to one man where I tried to get the rest shown. But now when I get to Lost Horizon, I had to find some other way. Yeah. So I figured out.
I would think so.
Well, why not shoot him where it's absolutely cold? Where was it cold? An ice house. I went to an ice house. Fish house. And here it was down in 15 degrees and loaded with fish, logs, like, you know. And so we threw out the fish and brought in the actors. That's all.
Nice way of putting it. We have a message. We'll be right back.